And welcome, guys. Welcome to the Hair Wire, the place where you get hair smart. I'm your host, Sergio Cardona, coming to you from Puerto Rico, Canada, and of course, Florida. Welcome, guys, to another session of the Hair Wire. Hey, guys, we are excited. We are happy. And of course, we want to let you know that the summer, it's the summer, sorry.
Summer is over, Sergio.
Hey, that's the thing. Here in Puerto Rico, we're still on summer all year. So, but the the Hair Wire Summit is still on. And it's gonna be on for the next 6 months. Well, up until March 24th. So make sure you get your tickets. The best education program right now. If you want to get your get your feet wet into the trichology industry, this is the class. This is the summit. This is the program that you have been waiting for the rest of your life. Just get your feet wet. If you're starting to transition into trichology, if you're already a seasoned trichologist, this summit is for you, and also for all of our patrons, all of our customers, our clients. If you want to know more about your hair, this summit is for you. Please visit thehairwire.com, thehairwire.com/summit. Get your tickets right now. They're still available. Get them while they're still hot, because after that, after March 24th, they're gone. They're gone. So you got to get your tickets right now. Alongside, we have Carrie, Jeremy, San Dipsy. How you guys are doing?
Good. Cold.
Cold. What's the temperature at your place, Carrie?
-2 right now. It snowed for the first time this season. So yeah,
Ooh.
Winter is upon me.
Ooh, wow. It's 80 outside.
Yeah.
Over here we still got 90. So
Okay.
It's warm considering for winter. It's gonna get colder. So
It is so funny now. It's in the morning. It's like around 69, 68. So
that's Canada. That's Canada.
68, 69. I'm not sure, but it's like maybe, I don't know, 13, 14.
Oh boy.
That's about 18, 19.
18, 19. Oh, yeah, 18, 19.
18, 19,
and everybody is in jackets, like, ooh.
Wow, we're in shorts. It's funny. When I go to Florida or LA, and it's like 19, 20 Celsius. So I don't know what that is Fahrenheit. We wear shorts and tank tops, and everybody looks at us like we're crazy because our skin glows in the dark because we're so white. and then we're reflecting everybody with our bright white legs.
I will say the same thing every time I go to Florida for winter. And I know who are from Canada. We know who you are, guys. We know who you are, because you're the only ones in shorts.
You shine.
You
shine.
Yeah, in Florida, yeah.
Our bright white skin and our shorts.
No. Yeah. You're crazy cold. You're crazy cold, guys. So, hey,
why I live here, I don't know.
Let me remind you, folks, we have our excellent network, the best network for trichologists around the world. And of course, it is our social media, our how we say the Trico network, as I like to call it.
Yeah,
Carrie, talk.
Nice.
Yeah, talk to us, Carrie, about the Trico network that Hairwire has built for our industry specialists, so we can have a space to chat, to network, to do all those wonderful things and keep updated
without being censored.
Ooh!
Yeah, no, we built a hair network,
you
guys, for the hair loss industry, for trichologists, hair loss scalp experts, you name it. We have something for you, whether you're a cosmetologist, a surgeon, a nutritionist, a dietitian, As long as you are a hair loss or scalp enthusiast, this place is for you. We've built where we have faculty mastery programs in the back to level up your trichology. We have programs for beginners wanting to get into trichology. We have censored groups, so which are cosmetology only or surgeon only. We do have a platform for you to connect with other people and see upcoming events, or maybe you have an event that you're hosting where you want to have, a hair cutting class for thinning a hair, or maybe you want to do a transplant class for the surgeons on new cutting edge technology. This is your one-stop shop to bridge all of the industries in hair loss. I found that there's a huge gap. A lot of the groups that I have joined, they're all either medical professionals, or they're all cosmetologists, or they're all surgeons. This is not that. This is a bridge to bridge everybody together, just like this fancy virtual cruise ship where we can all connect and communicate together. Yeah, and it's free for it's free for life if you sign up by September next year. Otherwise, we will be charging per membership based on the level that you're trying to get in on. So you do want to get in now. It's a perk if you sign up now, because we're still new. We're building up the platform, and we encourage you to get in there and talk and build up that communication with everybody. And yeah, so there's tons of perks if you sign up now. Otherwise, you're going to have to pay and regret not signing up when we told you to for free. So get in there, you guys. Go to thehairwire.com. You'll see the information on the homepage there. So without further ado, today, I'm excited about today, you guys, because we do not talk about cases enough. And I want to get on this because I love talking cases. And we keep saying we're going to talk about cases. So we're going to do cases today.
That's right. Biz, we talked on Saturday. We were working together on a case. This patient came to see me. She has been on and off from our clinic for about 7 years now. And the last time she came was about last year. And so when she came to our clinic, she was experiencing a new event of Telogen Effluvium. Now, with that, we were seeing some symptoms. Now, Biz, would you like to talk to our folks about the things that you were able to see in this process,
Yes.
this consultation? Yeah.
Yes, I was fortunate, and I'm grateful for Sergio to let me shadow his consultation yesterday. His client was super nice too, and she welcomed me into the consultation. So basically, when she came in, the nice thing about Sergio is he always connect with people right away, because it's an important thing when you have a hair loss issue. If your trichologist cannot really connect with you, it will affect, believe it or not, it will affect your treatment plan, because it's about also not only human connection, it's about that Sergio, the trichologist, can understand the person in front of them, what they are going through, being compassionate about it and being sympathetic about it. Sometimes you'll say, why do you trichologists care about my life? Yes, we care about your life, because if we didn't build that report in the first 5-10 minutes with you, if you don't trust us, if you don't open your heart for us, and it is under very confidential settings. Sergio's client, she was already consenting that it's okay for me to shadow her. Otherwise, it will be just Sergio and her. What I'm trying to say is this building rapport with your client is very essential. Your client will open up for you. They will tell you things that might help the trichologist to pinpoint where is your trigger point, what triggers that hair loss. Because as you know by now, hair loss, especially Telogen Effluvium, especially this lady who was coming to Sergio with a Telogen Effluvium case, if she didn't open up and told Sergio about the stress that she was going through in her life, then immediately Sergio got it from the first 10 seconds when she was saying, "Oh, I'm so stressed. I am this is going on and this is going on. Immediately, his mind is going about telogen effluvium. And then, of course, he will go continue his consultation to pinpoint if or to confirm if that is telogen effluvium or not, depending on his microscope finding, depending on his scope finding. But building report at the first 5 minutes with your client is very, very essential. And nobody do it better than Sergio. He's like clicking with clients right away. It's just be genuine, be sympathetic, be compassionate. Hair loss is a very, very tricky condition, because if you're stressed out and you are not 100% believing in your trichologist, your treatment plan will not follow through.
That's true. That's true. The other thing is, you're building that connection. First of all, because you want to get information. Without it, there's no case.
Yeah.
Period. So, like Bisan was saying, building that trust and that communication gap, you need to close it. You need to close it, and right away, instantly, because without it, unfortunately, the consultation will not go as planned and will not go to the places where it needs to be. You might get the wrong information, and with the wrong information, unfortunately, you will get a wrong diagnosis, or we might get to the right diagnosis but through the wrong reasons, or the treatment plan will not go as planned uh, because of it. So we need to make sure that we are getting the right information and that our clients are opening up to us so that we are able to proceed and, of course, get the right information again. So, Bis, what you noticed, what you saw about this lady, is she comment that she was experiencing stress. What else do we find out in that consultation?
So it's interesting when Sergio she was talking about her stress at the beginning, but then when Sergio did a microscopic examination on her, and he showed me, and like he hold his phone to show me the microscope so he found under the microscope that there is a small creature called Dumdalex. Did I say it right? Dumdalex.
Devil X, yeah.
Yeah,
Devil
Dumdalex.
X, Devil X.
Yeah, it was so interesting to see that, because these kind of mice, you don't see them often under a microscope, and they are there for maybe 90% of the population. They come and go also through our like time, depending on how humid the weather is, when did you shower, a lot, what kind of shampoo you're using. So these kind of mites would live on our skin and scalp. They come and go, and that's why it's like rare to see them under a microscope. And it was like really nice to see that you can see the body and the tail. It's amazing. And it has got stuck onto the hair follicle, and immediately Sergio explained it to the lady, what Dumdalex is, and he prescribed the proper treatment plan for her accordingly. And also, I want to say that he, in his microscopic finding, he looked and he said, "Do you have a back injury?" And she looked at him, it's like, yeah, this, I have here a back, like she did something on her back, like some kind of like a small surgery, small operation. And I looked at him, it's like, how did you know? Apparently, and right, the surgery and the hair follicle itself, the hair follicle, usually it will be like a bulb like that, and it will be, the medulla will start nicely. The medulla is the black line that you will see under a microscope inside the hair strand. So the bulb is not like that. It's like bulb, like it is kind of cut in middle, and like small, like as if it's a small bulb, then it got stuck, and then there's a small bulb again. So it's like something is shrinking the bulb, And Sergio explained to both of us that if you see that under a microscope, something is very stressful, painful coming from the back area. And I was like, I have been studying trichology for so many years. I never saw that. I never read that anywhere. He's like, that is the beauty of having your father starting the business of trichology before even people know what trichology is. And like, I was fascinated. It was like something really interesting. And I want to pick this guy's mind every time I have a case, because sometimes we miss like something that doesn't look normal and we don't know what it is, we just bypass it. But we shouldn't. We should go back as like there has been, like there must be something about this not normal looking hair follicle that we should investigate. And that was very interesting consultation for me, actually, because I never saw dumb legs live. I see it painted in pictures, but I saw it like, whoa, that is actually, that exists. And then I saw and also he uses the how do you say that, the polarized microscope, and the amount of lightning differs
Yeah.
between where the bulb is, where the hair strand is. And I asked him why the lightning is different, and he said to me that when when there is a yellowish tint to the hair strand, that means there's not enough protein in this lady's diet, and there is not enough protein that is coming to this hair follicle, and that hair follicle is gonna miniaturize by time. So she doesn't have androgenic alopecia right now. She is now having a telogen effluvium because of the massive shedding and the stress she's going through. But he can even predict, if you don't eat properly, lady, that the hair will be thinning more and more and more. And then we will be transitioning from telogen effluvium, because now we're gonna put a treatment plan to address stress, and we're gonna be transitioning to another treatment plan. So please eat protein.
Amazing. That
Yeah,
is
I
so
know.
cool.
I know.
Very,
I love it. I love
very
it. Like I love it. And then I went
Uh,
like it was Saturday. I was like the whole Saturday, I was like, I love my job. It's like so pretty. And it's like so nice. And whenever you plug a hair from your client, you don't know what you're gonna get, right? Like
True.
so it's just very interesting. I love it.
The consultation process itself, it's a wonder,
It
because
is, yeah.
you're investigating, and you're seeing the natural state of the hair bulb inside the follicle. So when you
Let
plug
me
it
see if
out,
I can
you're
show
seeing
it.
what's happening on the inside. But we're also using the scope on the outside, so we're matching what we're seeing on the outside with what we're seeing on the inside, and we're getting a lot of information. There's the Netflix right there.
Yeah, that's a good way. And that
You
is
see the tail, yeah.
yeah, yeah. You can see the tail and you see the body. And that is
Right there, right
how
there.
the mic this. Can you
It,
see it
I mean,
properly?
yeah. I mean, it's a great picture considering that I was using my phone
I look at this
trying
picture
to
too.
get a picture,
And this is a
and we were
screenshot
live
from his
streaming.
phone. Oh,
No,
Carrie,
that's
look
the
at
thing.
that.
I was using my phone.
so
You know,
cool.
I
I
was using
know.
my phone to look at the microscope, but we're using FaceTime, and
And let's FaceTime,
my
yeah.
son yeah, she was screenshotting, and it looked amazing, considering that the optics of it.
I know. And this is Sergio in action.
Ah,
So
And then
cool.
after
we had
he
a great
explained
time.
everything to me and to the client, he's like, Bisan, 1 second. I need to focus. I need a minute with my hair follicle.
And then I get back to just to make sure that things were together. So basically, for this client, we saw a lot of good things in terms of symptoms. Uh, Again, she was experiencing a lot of stress. She has a back injury that she was treating at the moment. And whenever you are experiencing a physical injury, you have to remember that physical injuries, they aggravate your stress level. And you might say, well, why? Well, very simply, it connects to the same nervous system. So anything that happens in the realm of the psyche, the emotional, and what happens physically, what is happening in our body, they go through the same channel, the same nervous system, and it compounds the effect. So if you're experiencing a lot of stress, and you are aggravating, you're aggravated by an injury, then it's going to be compounding, and you will see the same thing the other way around. Now, if you go through, let's say, car accident, and you have been going through an injury, what will happen? Well, most people will get depressed. Most people will get so stressed out because they want to, they want to move on. They want to step out of the injury. They want to recover. And so both elements will come together. That's why you will see that many times for people who are experiencing serious injuries, they will get medication for depression, for anxiety, because of the injuries that they sustain in the body, but how those injuries work our way here on our psyche, on how we express ourselves, on how we feel. So, in this case, we were seeing a compounding effect on this lady, and of course, Telogen Effluvium, what's happening. And we'll go more into detail. One of the things that also we were seeing is that, as Bisan was mentioning, we were seeing that the hair was lacking proteins. Usually on a polarized microscopy, you will see um, an array of colors when you polarize the hair, and with whenever we see a basically a yellow color going around the hair, and it has nothing to do again with pigmentation, because again, with polarized microscopy, what we are doing is, we use the hair as a glass, basically as a crystal, so it will refract into different colors. And depending on the colors that we are seeing, we may able to identify levels of protein that are being accumulated on a hair strand on different moments. Sometimes it's consistent, sometimes it's inconsistent. And for instance, in this case, in this lady, she was lacking those nutrients. So what's causing that nutrients to not getting there? So is it the dieting? Is it just because of the accumulation of sebum? There are many things that could be happening that are contributing to that lack of nutrients to the hair strand. But as an effect, we will start seeing the thinning of that hair strand. And very commonly, whenever we experience intelligent effluvium, we might see that the hair goes thin, as of course, as we are losing hair. Because whenever we lose hair, our follicles will try to regain those pieces of hair. And whenever they do, unfortunately, they come at a thinner space. They become thinner than what they used to be before. And that is something that, it is very important. As gynecologists, we need to address the thinning just as much as we need to address the hair shedding. Because if we are only working on just the shedding but not addressing the thinning, what will happen is that we will see people. Okay, my hair is not shedding; it's shedding no longer. Excellent, great, but I still look so thin. I don't look good. And that becomes frustrating for a lot of customers. So it is important to deal with both subjects at the same time. Now, Kerry, I want to talk to you about this for a moment, because even though you're not familiar with the case, but I want you to talk to us about the importance of addressing both issues at the same time whenever we're creating a treatment plan for our customers.
Yeah, how so? Like addressing the stress like pre-preventative?
Yeah, we are working with the hair loss as well as working with getting that hair thicker at the same time.
Yeah, well, if you're being cautious of what's coming up, because if you fix one problem and then you know something's coming up and you don't address it to prevent it coming, then you're just going to be running into another problem, causing more problems. It's kind of like that butterfly effect. So it's important as a trichologist, if you see, be preventive. Like even me as a cosmetologist, if I already know that I have clients coming up to a stressful period in a time, like my accountants, I know accounting season's coming up. I do my due diligence and say, hey, in a couple months, do you have accounting season come up? Let's prevent any future hair loss. Let's make sure we get you on a protocol right now with stress management too. I think it's important because it's all connected, all of it.
Yeah. Yeah, we always say
Yes,
in
most
in
definitely.
our channel how our body, everything with the hair loss starts from within. So that's why the connection is very vital here.
Yeah. It's all connected. Mind, body, spirit. It's all connected. You have a headache, it could be because you're stressed. You have a headache because your body's dehydrated. It's yeah, there's so many connections. And oftentimes, like if you know that you're stressed because of your hair and you have stuff coming up, it's going to create more stress in the body to create more stress in how it represents itself physically. And yeah, it's all connected.
Yeah.
It's epigenetics. So
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You have to work on all the angles if you're possible at the same time. That's, that's for me. It's the way I like to work. Sometimes there's things that you can work on levels. Like we're gonna tackle this first, and then we're gonna be tackle this one, and then this one. But there are things that you're able to work simultaneously, and by doing that, it cuts the time of treatment. And it is amazing that whenever we are able to identify the proper situations, not only will we be preventing, but we also want to be making sure that we are cutting ahead of the curve, that we're cutting the time of stimulation. Because again, hair growth is not a process that's going to happen overnight.
Yes.
It takes time to grow hair, and it takes time to get it thicker. So the quicker you jump into that curve, the better. But then again, sometimes it is best to do, to treat the hair loss first and then add into that process. But sometimes you are able to combine. Another thing that we also saw with the lady that we were working, again, a middle-aged female, was that she had a lot of sebum onto her scalp. We saw a lot of yellow dots. Remember this? We were using the scope, and my scope I like to use. It has a polarized feature, so I can look with the polarized lens or without it. And
Yeah.
we were seeing, if you remember, Biz, a lot of yellow dots on those
Yeah. Yeah.
follicles. And one of those yellow dots, we saw a sebum plug.
Yeah.
And whenever we see sebum plugs, we understand that there's a heavy accumulation of sebum. So even though the person, may not be experiencing a lot of oiliness into her scalp, because she didn't look like she was heavily on oil, but those follicles, they definitely look, like a lot of sebum activity was happening on that end. What you thought about that, Biz?
Yeah. So actually, when I saw that the pictures on the TV, you can even see one of the dots. Even Sergio was like as if it's crispy. It dried up and it stayed on the scalp too. So the dangerous thing of the sebum is it's not only going to clog the hair follicles, but also that crispy sebum that it just got dried up on her scalp. It's going to prevent the skin, the scalp underneath that circle to be alive. So if it didn't get treated ASAP, what happened is not the hair follicle will be dead only, even the scalp itself will be, the sebum will be very corrosive to that scalp area, and uh, she will end up with scarring alopecia. So we started up with little bit of sebum and we end up with scarring alopecia if it did not get treated properly. And that's the importance also of using the scope. When any client comes to you and you check every single area of their scalp, because she may have sebum here accumulation, but maybe in her shower and the way she wash her hair, maybe she's in a hurry, she shower like this, and then she missed some areas. And then these areas, if you don't, whenever the sebum was still accumulating, if they didn't come out properly, it will end up crispying like that. And now Sergio has to use salicylic acid and more aggressive treatments to loosen up these as how do you say, like flakes in a way, and from around her follicles and on her scalp too. Usually you always see it around your follicles, but this case we saw it on the scalp in an empty place. So that's even worse, that it will tell you that the sebum has been untreated for a long time. And Sergio said that she used to come to the clinic and she skipped coming to the clinic for a very long time. So adding to the telogen effluvium, the sebum is being corrosive, and the corrosiveness of the sebum will eat on your hair follicles, and it will go down and start eating the hair follicle itself, leaving the hair follicle dead, leaving the skin around it dead, and it may develop to scarring alopecia if it not got caught properly. Like luckily he caught it in a okay place. Still, he can treat it with salicylic acid and ketoconazole, but that's also an indication for if you have like itchiness, or like you feel like you're not cleaning your scalp properly, go to a trichologist and check it out, because it's just can be a simple sebum accumulation from the sweat, from humidity, especially they live in Puerto Rico. It's a humid place. And sometimes I shower sometimes very quickly. I have 5 minutes to shower after a workout, and I have to jump into a meeting or something. I will be like, okay, fine. So, sometimes we don't wash it properly because you don't have every day like half an hour to massage yourself and wash your hair properly and all this. And especially if you are um, a health conscious person, for example, I wouldn't use very harsh chemicals. These harsh chemicals in shampoo, in a way, they're very harsh, and please don't use them. I'm not saying that, but these harsh chemicals will deal with the SIBO quicker than the shampoos with less harsh chemicals. So you have to balance in a way that you're providing your scalp with a good shampoo that is not chemically harsh, but also you have to be mindful of the amount of time you have to spend on your scalp, making that these sebum go out physically with your, not nails, with your fingertips. Don't scratch it with your nails, please. Then it will actually uh, exponential. You will make it even worse. So going back to the case, so telogen effluvium sebum is accumulating. She does not have enough protein in her diet. She's heading toward androgenic alopecia. So it's a lot in one case, and all what she said, I'm seeing her thinning. But with a thorough consultation with her timeline and history, and her what's going on in her life, with a microscopic examination, with a scope examination, you see how many cases we saw. Not one case, is 3 in 1. And people think that, oh, I'm losing my hair, I'll take a pill.
I
Did
wish it
you?
was that easy. I wish it was that easy.
Yes. So that's the beauty of trichology. That's a beauty of a trichologist. Um, if I don't want to undermine anybody, but if she goes to a traditional doctor, he will give her finasteride.
Probably, which of course she was considering about the use of finasteride, minoxidil, and of course I told her to stay away from it. But that's the type of things that can happen. Now, Carrie, a bit about whenever we encounter clients with sebum plugs into their scalp. What are some of the things that you would like to do for those clients?
When I see that, I really like to do scalp facials. So a lot of steaming, and well, first off, educating. That's the first thing that I always go to is education. And then for me to do treatments with them and cleaning the scalp, I'll do a clarification, and then I'll do steam, and just essentially do a scalp facial to really move and clean the scalp. So like a hot towel treatment at the sink, and get in there, do a scalp massage, cleanse, exfoliate, do another steam bath, scalp clean, and then moisturize, and then doing the proper moisturizing treatments. And again, education, reiterate, educate, and then put product in their hands and make them go home with it.
Important stuff, because the products that people take at home, is the continuous processing of what we started in the clinic. uh, Treatments at the clinic are amazing, are great, but what we do it at home should resemble, or should at least look like, something that we are doing at the clinic. at least in terms of purpose, because we want to continue the treatment at home, because people, they might come weekly if they live nearby, but if they're not, they probably will see them in a once a month, or maybe once every 3 months, or maybe once a year, like this lady.
Yeah.
So, whatever we do at home, it should match what we're trying to do at office, so that we get that, that compounding effect, and finally break through that sebum. Having a lot of sebum accumulate into the scalp can be quite difficult to remove, especially when they become, like plugs of sebum. Sometimes it's not easy to remove them, and the continuous cleansing processing will help into easing up those plugs of sebum. But at the same time, you have, like Bisan was mentioning before, it's about balancing, because if you're using strong chemicals, uh, that hair is going to dry out. And if it starts drying out, hair breakage could follow. So properly balancing that equation will help us maintain the integrity of the hair, keep that scalp healthy, and of course, control that shedding. Because in this case, as we were beside was explaining, the corrosiveness of that sebum eats away basically the inner outer root sheet, causing the hair uh, to basically be released from the follicle. And in that sense, of course, we needed to control. Now, you might say, well, what's the relationship between sebum and stress? Now that we're connecting the dots here. Well, the thing is that one of the signals that trigger our sebaceous gland is actually stress. Anything that activates our nervous systems. So whenever we encounter high stress events, can they trigger hair loss? Yes, they can. Doesn't mean that they have to. No, they don't. And that's a difference. You might be experiencing stress for quite a while, and you may not see any hair loss or any hair shedding at all. But once you start feeling relaxed, then it starts shedding. Why? Because of the compounding effect, and because of, as we mentioned in previous episodes, you may not see the effects immediately. Sometimes it takes weeks, sometimes even months before it shows up. So you have to consider the timeline on when did you start feeling that, when does the stressful events happening, and of course, how long did it last, and when did it stop, and how long it happens, the time frame between when did it stop and when you start experiencing the hair loss. So those type of things are very important to consider into a consultation process, and that is the reason for this particular case, not your case necessarily. But this particular case, this is what we call a case study, where we're talking about this specific case. All right. So in this case, we needed to detox that follicle, work with that stress, and of course, control that shedding, while at the same time we are inducing into hair growth, and of course into the thickness of the hair to get that thickness back. So it's pretty
I, I
interesting
wanna
case.
I wanna add something, Sergio, to exactly what
Yeah.
you said. You said that um, even that stressful event happened long time ago, and then now you're
Mhm.
seeing shedding, and people don't correlate two together. There is very good book called "Your Body Keeps the Score," and basically that's
Nice.
book what's talking about, even if something happened long time ago, even something happened like 6 weeks ago, 6 months ago, if you don't release that stress and process it properly, then your body is going to keep it until it has a chance to process it. And if you don't process it in the right channels, your body, the way your body is going to release that stress, it may be with a hair loss, maybe with migraine, maybe with gut issues. That's why it is very important to process the grief, the loss, the trauma that we went through, and because it's going to lead to one of these issues. So I want to just add that.
That's true. Another
Yeah.
thing that I wanted to comment, is you mentioned this, is the neglecting part of it. If you neglect in a hair loss issue, how could it transform into, for instance, a cicatricial alopecia?
Right.
And one of the things that we see with sebum particularly is that the corrosiveness of it can create irritation, scalp erythema, and from that, a more inflammation, and from more inflammation, we can get an active um, uh, immune response, and as an immune response, we could then develop this type of scarring alopecia that it's very commonly seen on particularly frontal fibrosing, central centrifugal cicatricial alopecia, lichen planopilaris, Brock, uh, folliculitis decalvans. There are many types of cicatricial alopecias that can be manifested, and you will see that most of them they will share symptoms in which we have the redness, we have the scaliness, we have the sebum, toxic sebum in large amounts. And what Bisano was saying is so true and so important. And even though it may look like a step too far apart, the fact is it's not as far as you might think. Just a few notches, and that thing will go bad. So taking care of things on time, looking for the right help at the right time makes a whole lot of difference. So getting to a trichologist is the best thing that you can do. And of course, you have three of us right here. Either you contact Carrie or contact Bisan or contact myself. We're ready here for you guys. And our friends here, Carrie and Bisan, they're taking online consultations. So visit our website, thehairwire.com, and get in contact with us if you need help with your hair. But definitely something that we have to do. Carrie, anything that you want to add before we continue?
Uh-oh.
I think she's experiencing problems with her computer.
Crashing, yeah. Her computer keeps crashing.
Okay, something has happened with this application and her
Yes.
her computer.
My computer. Time for a new computer.
Don't worry. The hair wire will buy you a new computer. Don't worry. We'll get that.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. No, you guys, just what Sergio said, go find a trichologist, get the right information, and make sure you get educated. And I just really want to add in there too, because I'm still seeing this even with my own friends. A trichologist expert goes and studies something for a particular reason, and they are very informative. Internet isn't always correct. And so if you have somebody who specializes and has dedicated their life to the study of a specific topic, they might know a little bit more compared to the internet, because I still get a lot of people tell me where they'll ask me for a product, I'll give them my input, and then they still go buy Tresemme and complain that their hair is falling out. So, find somebody who's reputable, knows what they're talking about, but the internet doesn't know everything. Don't be Dr. Google, because it's not always right, you guys, because there's a lot of quote unquote experts presenting themselves as quote unquote experts who are not. So I just cannot reiterate that enough, just because you want to save your hair. Okay.
And I want to add one thing to exactly very, very good point that Kerry is talking about. Don't ask Dr. Google, and definitely don't assume that ChatGPT will give you a correct answer.
Oh my God, that's a good one. Everybody's going to ChatGPT for everything right now.
I know. I watched a workshop, like in my school, we had a workshop about ChatGPT, and the guy who was presenting, he's an expert in ChatGPT. He said that the free version of ChatGPT is not updated. The last got updated is spring of last year. And when you ask a question for ChatGPT, he will collect the data from Dr. Google. And so if somebody said, put on their blog that Telogen Effluvium is a product of nutrient deficiency, not stress, for example, then this is not a good, like not a correct statement. ChatGPT will assume it's a correct statement, and it will put it in your research. So ChatGPT is not your doctor. Google is not your doctor. Please.
Amen.
Yep.
The other thing is, whenever you're consulting to a professional, make sure they have the proper academic studies. Okay, all of us here, we had at least 2 years of studying trichology before we call a certified trichologist. And unfortunately, there's people out there, with just 1 day, 2 day course, and they call themselves trichologists. Beware of that. To the general public, beware of that. To our friends in the industry, if you have 2 days seminar, get your academics straight, get into a complete program, at least a good 2 year program, complete your certification, get the most information in your system so you're able to help people better. Because unfortunately, there's a lot of gurus out there, a lot of people who believe that they know things and they don't know jack.
And don't forget the experience that a trichologist will see all these cases throughout their career. This experience, ChatGPT doesn't know about it.
That's
Dr.
true.
Google doesn't know about it. Only you, as a trichologist, know about it. And basically, when you're charging people, you're charging for your experience because nobody else has your unique experience with your unique clients and cases that you accumulated over the years. And that's why, like the more experienced the trichologist is, the more they're gonna charge you. It's the experience that does not exist except in the head of this experienced trichologist, like Sergio
Or
and
like
my
Bisano,
good
like
friend
Carrie,
Kay.
exactly. People who know their stuff, and I feel very confident in my team. First of all, we have a group of people here who are very competent. And for instance, Bisan, she's a researcher. She's a biologist who has been working as an SMP artist for many years for hair transplant surgeon, and she has become a trichologist, and now she's working. And Carrie has been a fabulous cosmetology for years, a leader in the industry, and then she became a certified trichologist. Also, she's working epigenetics. She's a master in the epigenetics world. So we're talking about here people who has been doing this for a long time, people who has the academics, who has has everything, all the elements necessary to help you understand and navigate to the process of hair loss. So I hope you guys give it a shot, and of course visit thehairwire.com. While you're at it, please also subscribe to our channel, to our YouTube channel, hit the like button, smash it right now, and of course share our content. But first of all, hit the like button, and of course the subscribe and the notification bell, so every time we upload a new videos, God bless you. So every time we upload a new video, you get notified, and of course you get the latest on what's happening in the hair world here at the Hair Wire. So we're about to wrap things up, guys. Anything you guys want to add before we leave?
It's an awesome episode. Every episode is becoming better and better than the previous episode. So you guys, you don't want to miss that.
Of course, whenever we talk about cases, we get a little bit technical. So sorry
Yeah.
about the folks about that. But, we're talking about cases, so we have to get a little bit insight. But hey, I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. We want to see you next time. So God bless you all. We'll see you then. Bye-bye. Where's the outro video? Oh, here it is.